You haven't had me on one of your records.
Yes, I...
That would be a...
No, I was on your record.
You were on my record.
Blake Shelton's unvarnished confession. About Kelly Clarkson. Let's paint the picture. It's May 2025 at the atmosphere in the studio for the Kelly Clarkson show is absolutely electric. You can feel the charge and hear the moment you walk in. The stage is lit with blindingly bright lights. Cameras are positioned to capture every angle, and the audience is humming with anticipation, rustling their programs and chattering excitedly with neighbors. Then she appears, Kelly. She steps out, a stunning electric blue power suit, looking every inch the con she is. She's spoiled, confident, and full of a vibrant energy moving across the set as if it's S own personal living room. The crowd immediately explodes with applause. Moments later, Blake Shelton ambles onto the stage. The epitome of relaxed country call is in his signature denim jacket, comfortable jeans, and well-worn cowboy boots, and a mischievous half-smile that says he's about to share a private joke with the entire world. The contrast is brilliant. Do Kelly's sparkling high-energy pop vibe against Blake's slow-moving, witty country charisma. And just like that, the banter begins. It's sharp, rapid fire, and full of good-natured sarcasm. That a unique back and forth only they can truly master. Kelly lands the first bunch, playfully mocking his song, Texas. Blake, you're from Ada, Oklahoma. Did you forget? The audience roars with laughter. Blake simply takes it in stride, tipping his head and allowing the laughter to subside before he turns to the camera with a knowing shrug, inviting everyone in on their inside joke. Then, just as the crowd is catching its breath, he delivers the line that will soon be everywhere. Kelly and I are Sarah Ted. We probably share a toothbrush for a single long drawn-out second. The entire studio is silent. You could hear a pin drop. Did he really just say that on live television? And then complete pandemonium. The crowd erupts in a mix of laughter and cheer. Shock. Kelly clutches at her chest in mock horror, gasping with laughter. Struggling to come up with a comb, but completely overwhelmed by her own amusement. She's wheezing, doubled over, with tears of laughter streaming from her eyes. It's an unscripted, genuine, and completely magnetic moment. Blake doesn't miss a beat. He leans forward, that same smirk in his face, and continues his joke. I'm serious. We have the same managers, the same songwriters, the same in-laws. He winks, daring the world to keep up with their complex web-off connections that if we swap toothbrushes right now, the tabloids would go into a meltdown trying to figure it out. The cameras capture every single second of Kelly's hysterics. Gasping for air, clutching her stomach in fits of giggles. The pure, unadulterated chaos, a perfect blend of humor and absolute honesty. By the time the segment iceover, clips off moment are already burning up social media feeds. Within an hour, the clip has millions of views. The comment section is a wild mix of disbelief and celebration that I knew it. They're like family, says one user. Another hilariously asks, does related mean something different in Oklahoma? The brilliance of this moment isn't just a joke. It's that Blake did hide the truth. There were no press releases, no carefully scripted words, no media spin. He just said it right there on the screen and let the world react. Even his publicist likely hiding somewhere backstage in a state of simultaneous shock and admiration. Doc couldn't help but post a single cowboy hat emoji. There was no denial, no attempted clarification. Blake meant what he said. And somehow it was a home run. How Blake and Kelly became country cousins. Before anyone starts panicking and drawing out family trees on their dinner table. Napkins, let's make one thing clear. No. Blake and Kelly are not literally cousins. When Blake says they are related, he's talking about genetics. He's talking about the incredibly intertwined and possibly tight-knit world of Nashville and the country music industry that has been their home for decades, that it's a scene so small, so deeply connected that of everyone's lives intersect in ways that would make an outsource head spin. Imagine a human pretzel. Everyone is connected to everyone else through their careers, their personal lives, or simple backyard barbecues. Take Killis' ex-husband and former manager Brandon Blackstock. He's the son of Narvo Blackstock, who for many years was Blake Shelton's manager. That single link means the two of them were in the same orbit long before a single camera ever caught them trading jokes. But the connections run far deeper than that. Blake's longtime music producer Healy had a hand in recording some of Kelly's first demos. The songwriter who wrote one of Blake's biggest hits started out playing small gigs and dive bars with Kelly before she became famous. Their professional lives have been tangled up for so long that trying to separate them is impossible. And that's exactly the kind of related universe Blake is joking about. It's a world where you can't turn around without seeing someone who has written songs for both of them, toured with both them, or attended the same get-together at one of their homes. Their list of mutual friends reads like ours. List for the biggest country music awards show when their lives have crossed at every possible turn. From industry parties to late-night studio sessions. From awards how green rooms to Motown, Oklahoma events, this incredibly complex network explains sonic about their on-screen chemistry. When they tease each other, it isn't fake or forced. It's the natural rhythm of two people who have spent the better part of 2 decades sharing the same circles, navigating the same crazy industry and experiencing every high and low along the way. Their bond has grown in that chaos, which is we can joke about sharing toothbrushes without it seeming strange that it's just a funny way of describing a history that's messy, hilarious, and completely one over kind. Outsiders might get confused trying to map it all out, but for them, it's simply their life. Their friendship be a result of shared successes, shared heartbreaks, and a million small encounters that have built a level of trust most people never achieve. And it's important to remember that this bond didn't start under the bright lights of a television studio. To understand the true roots of the Blake and Kelly dynamic, you have to go back to years before The Voice, before the platinum records, before the talk show stages and the red carpets. The chaos that forged their bond. It's 2006 that The air is thick and hazy in a tiny bar, tucked away just off Printer's Alley in Nashville. The floors are sticky with spilled drinks, the scent of stale beer, and old wood mixes with cigarette smoke. And it's the kind of place where you could accidentally run into a future superstar. Blake Shelton is in the crowd, still riding the success. Blake was still in her corner sending late-night jokes and silly videos just to lift her spirits when everything felt dark. This is the history that magazines never cover. People see their rivalry, voice, the teasing, the jokes, the roles, but they don't see the decade plus of shared experiences. The laughter, the heartbreak, the midnight phone calls, and the quiet support. It's our bond forged in the grind, a shared understanding that surviving this world requires more than talent. It requires someone who truly gets it. The most controversial things Kelly Clarkson has ever done. Blake Shelton's public image is all about cowboy charm, a teasing smile and easygoing humor. Kelly Clarkson, she's fire. Straight talking, unapologetic honesty. That's her trademark. And that honesty has put her in the spotlight in ways most celebrities would avoid. It's not just the banter on The Voice or her Charlotte in daytime television. It's the storms that follow her headlines. And in every single one of those storms, Blake has been there. Not with public statements or media defenses, but quietly, fiercely, as the friend who genuinely has her back. Take their infamous My December saga in 2007. Kelly had just come off the massive worldwide success off Breakaway Anal Bum that turned her into a global superstar overnight. But for her third album, she wanted something different, something raw, personal, and raw-infused. She cared the entire record, pouring her life into every note. The record label, though, and the legendary Clive Davis reported, "Lawn fans, they were pushing for another Since You've Been Gone. Polished and radio-friendly." Reports say Davis 7 publicly criticized the album and allegedly told her she was a terrible writer, saying she should just sing instead of trying to be a songwriter. Kelly was painted as difficult, a young woman who refused to puppet. She had to fight tooth and nail just to release the album the way she wanted. Through it all, Blake stayed in throwings, quietly watching, never joining the public argument, but privately checking in, sending support, and later admitting he hated seeing her attacked for simply wanting to be herself. Fast forward to 2018. Kelly made a simple comment in a radio interview about spanking her kids, saying it was how she was raised and she'd see a problem with it. Almost instantly, the internet erupted. Parenting blobs exploded with criticism. Child development experts weighed in and social media turned into a full-blown debate about her parenting skills. Through the chaos, Blake didn't post a single defense on Twitter, didn't call out the haters. He simply sent her she was a great mom, plain and simple. That was all shin. Then came 2023 that the Kelly Clarkson show made headlines with allegations of a toxic work environment. Rolling Stone reported that some staff felt overworked and mentally strained. Importantly, every person interviewed was quick to say that Kelly herself was fantastic and likely unaware of the issues. Still, her name was dragged through the headlines. Once again, Blake stayed publicly quiet. But according to insiders, a subtle gesture of support appeared. Pizza trucks started showing up. Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates just like this.